warming up. One more time, make sure that you got it. Spark that, pass it. Last time, y'all. What's up? It's your girl, J Mills, and you are now tuned into a very, very special episode of the Pass the J podcast. I am surrounded by some awesome warriors in this here cannabis social justice life. We're going to go around real quick. Everybody's going to introduce themselves, from starting right here.
Hi, my name is Kamani Jefferson. I'm the president and registered lobbyist of the Massachusetts Recreational Consumer Council. We're community lobbyists back in Massachusetts.
My name is Rochelle Young. I'm an attorney and a longtime marijuana activist also.
Yep. Coming on around.
Hi, my name is Joe Gilmore. I'm a community outreach director and a co-founder of Massachusetts Recreational Consumer Council.
And my name is Sonia Erica, and I am another co-founder of the Massachusetts Recreational Consumer Council.
Yes, and we are all here on the Path to J podcast to do what we do best, which is smell some really good bud that was grown in DC and talk about erasing stigma in all the different ways that we can. So we're gonna get it started by smelling some buds. I'm just gonna pass them around. Let's just pass them around. When you like what you smell, let me know and I'll read the name out. It's a lot of info on there. So prior to this, we were talking about terpenes. We had this moment, and I'm so excited because almost every episode I have to do my spiel about how terpenes are what color your flowers, and the analogy of right now, especially in DC, where we don't have testing mandates. You don't know what the terpenes are in your flowers. Yeah, look at it. Right.
It's crazy.
All you know is the name and the THC percentage. That's it.
Same back in Massachusetts. We don't do that in Massachusetts either. So
do you all have to test for pesticides or anything
pesticides,
like that?
for potency, for mold, to make sure that it's clean, but nothing requiring anything on terpenes yet. People aren't educated on the subject much.
Or other cannabinoids. The only thing that's listed is the THC content.
Or other cannabinoids.
No,
Man,
It gets old.
I don't even have those. I should have pulled. Something told me to pull that one up. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up that PowerPoint, perhaps, because the cannabinoids is it's so much bigger than THC and CBD.
Yeah, and we're just starting to hear more about CBD now after decades of people only knowing about THC, but they're not even realizing that there are something like 80 other cannabinoids that have been discovered, and that it's the entourage effect, right, of having all of those working together that really helps people therapeutically in different ways.
Yeah, that entourage effect is something serious. Would it pass? Y'all put it back down? We got.
Oh, okay.
I know, right? The conversation.
That's so good.
We gotta keep it going, man. Keep it active, even though this conversation is so needed. Wow, I didn't know that you all don't have to do terpene testing. When it comes to mold and mildew,
That's a problem.
Yeah.
There's been issues in Massachusetts.
well, yeah.
Unfortunately,
So-
that's too, right?
One of the biggest issues we find with bad quality cannabis is if they're grown in these large million square foot facilities. So like factory Walmart weed is something that we're not really big fans of. We want craft quality grown with experienced growers who have been doing this for a while, who understand how to grow small batches with love, as opposed to.
But testing that is important on both
Right.
types of different systems. So if you're home growing, it's important to test your flower. Or if you're growing in a facility, it's also important to test your flower, just so that people understand what they're consuming. You know, whether they're buying it from the store or if you're just growing your own and smoking it, it's important to understand what you're consuming, what terpenes, what cannabinoids. That's what determines your experience. And the more that we understand the terps and the cannabinoids we consume, the better that we can understand why we're having the experience we're having.
Exactly. So he sounds like you got some terps that you like over
Yeah.
here, Kamani. What are you smelling in this one? It's a whole lot of
It's got a citrusy, I guess.
citrusy.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the slash.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Citrusy.
I got the tangy. I've always been a fan.
Okay, you like the
Tangy.
citrusy
It
too.
wakes me up. Like,
Mhm.
nice, like,
I'm all about that life too. I love limonene. The number one quality up there that is known for is being a mood uplifter.
Ooh.
This is what I smoke in the morning. Looking for that orange, that lemon. Also like pinene in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Really, really love
Pinene is nice.
pinene. Oh my gosh, that gives me the focus. But antifungal, antibacterial, anti-cancer, all those other good things. Easily absorbed by inhalation, so you feel it super fast. But
Right.
again, y'all here. So you like the limonene, the citrus thing?
Yeah,
that's
citrus
happening
for sure.
there? It's real orange. Did you see the name? Which one was it? This one?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, that was Master Kush?
Oh, that maybe was that.
Oh,
It might be some citrus.
is this the one?
Oh, wait. Is this still mine?
Oh. Pass the J,
Don't
y'all.
mind me.
We are on
That
Pass
was
the J.
the wrong one.
Live.
Oh, no, I finished this one.
So, what are some of your favorite terpenes?
I really like, like the citrusy type of smells, but also something that helps me relax is something more like, is it myrcene?
Oh.
Mercy.
Do you have
What
a
is
slide
that?
for that one?
Is that purple stuff? That one?
Let's-
Purple, yeah. That's
There
that
we
purple.
go.
That is that
Right?
purple stuff, literally.
Yeah,
That's
that
one of the
purple,
highest
you really
terpenes
like
in,
that.
in your purples.
I heard that eating mangoes will intensify your high.
It does. If you eat mangoes 30 to 45 minutes before you smoke, you will be higher. The sedative effects of the
Yeah.
myrcene are gonna for sure set.
I need that to get to sleep. So like,
Yeah,
Mangoes?
it's a perfect.
Joey loves mangoes.
No, not
No,
mangoes,
smoke
but like
consuming.
indicas,
Smoking
like,
something
No, I
purple.
know. I'm joking.
yeah.
You love mangoes.
Mangoes are good.
Yeah. I love myrcene too. Limonene, myrcene. Also caryophyllene, so that's fun. We always talk about OG. What's that? I love it.
Yeah,
Oh,
what
yeah.
are
I've
other
heard of
things
that
you can
one.
find that
Yeah,
in?
what's that?
What else can you find? Caryophyllene then?
Mhm,
That's
I've
like
never
your
heard of that.
gelato cake. What's interesting is that caryophyllene
love
is the only
cake.
terpene that behaves like a cannabinoid in how your body metabolizes it and how it attaches itself to your central nervous system and organs.
Cookies.
So it's really, really great for pain for that reason. Yep, it's in your cookies, it's in your cakes, your perps, also. But also like Gorilla
Girls-
Glue.
Like Girl Scout cookies and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to do like strain names because like there's
It varies
so
so
many
much.
different variations of
Like
terpenes and
swabbing.
cannabinoids within a strain.
And
So
then-
that's why,
And then all growers are different. They can grow at better quality than other qualities. So like the
or different
percentage
types
indoor,
of
outdoor.
blue drain.
Right, indoor, outdoor, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
like
So what is I don't know if you just talked about this on your previous segment, but what is a way for people to figure out what terpenes are in their favorite strains? Like if they don't already know, like from testing.
Yeah, man, it's so subjective, unfortunately. If you don't have the testing, then you just have to smell. Different people have different levels of smell, just like they have different
It's kind
levels
of like
taste.
wine tasting, right?
It
That's
is.
exactly what I
Like,
was thinking of.
It is.
Like
It is, and some people can taste the differences in the wines, and
Yeah.
some can't. They're like, I don't know what you mean.
Can
I don't
you-
smell a berry. I don't get it.
Can you, as a consumer, bring your cannabis to a lab in DC and get it tested for terpenes?
No.
You
No.
can fortunately do that in mass.
Really?
Yeah,
For
like
terps and all that, they do GC.
yeah, they can test for pesticides, metals, cannabinoids, terpenes, but some of them won't because they only work with like the established licensed
Mhm.
businesses. But some of them will because they see the importance of
It's
consumer
necessary.
knowledge.
Yeah.
When you
Um,
have such a radical difference reaction to things just based upon the terpenes. So we got some sour juices and some
Sour.
But there's
Classic.
home testing labs. Like now they're developing technology so that you can test your weed at home.
Here's an orangeade. Like,
It's not developed yet though.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Man,
Home
that's
testing.
That would be
amazing.
the best.
Home testing
Yeah.
for terps?
Yeah.
Until then,
That
I
would
just
be
gotta
great.
use my
I mean,
nose.
that's really helpful for making things like edibles too, right? Because then the like terpenes kind of you can match them to different flavors and scents that you might be cooking with.
Yeah, most
Yeah.
definitely. I'm looking for my remote that I just lost because that's what happens to remotes. You lose them. But I have this handy dandy little scale. If we can go to the slide real quick, because what you said is very right. And when it comes to edibles, it's very important to know what your terpenes are and when they burn off.
dissipate,
So as we smoke, and I love to smoke, shout out to Backwood, even though they're not paying me. When you smoke, you're only getting about 15% of the total amount that you could really get. So
Like 50%
Oh, wow.
total, not
15.
15, not
One
just
side.
like THC, but like the whole
Yeah.
spectrum.
As opposed to other methods of ingestion, right?
yeah, like if you're smoking a gram, you really didn't ingest all of the medicine that gram had. You only got
Burned it off.
15% of it because it burned off. You see the temperatures right here
Of
of
decarboxylation.
when it starts
Yeah.
to disappear. So, but that just goes to show you how high weed can get you. Because if only 15%,
Yeah.
that is also why edibles is
Yes.
like people don't understand the dosage. Because if you're coming at it from the mentality of, oh, well, I can smoke this much, so then I should be able to eat that much. No.
Yes.
Not at all.
So that's one of the big things that we're big on in Massachusetts is consumer education on edibles, on like how to dose yourself, because someone could have a really bad experience their first time consuming edibles if they don't know how much milligrams they're consuming. So we say try 5.
Well, now that we've
No.
gone recreational, they've put a limit on how much you can consume. So
Right.
you have to start off. Each packaging has to be divided by 5 milligrams, and each package can't have more than 100 milligrams. So encourage people to really just start slow, start with 5 milligrams of THC, and then see what that does. And if you want to increase your consumption, then you can take more. Because, yeah, in the medical, you can consume like a bar of chocolate that's 100 milligrams like right away. And that's a lot for a lot of people.
That is. That's a
Like,
whole lot. For,
That could be a bad trip.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not ready to
I've
do
had
all
those
that.
before.
But at the same time, there's some people who need high
Yeah,
doses.
right.
So
It's
like,
true.
Yes.
you gotta think about those people.
Very
They
true.
shouldn't have to eat 20 candy bars.
No, they
Right.
should not. They shouldn't even have to eat candy bars.
Right.
What are you doing giving them candy bars in the first
And that's
place?
what we're trying to push, like more
Yep.
like healthy or like other types of edibles out there. And
Yes.
like, honestly, you're seeing more of that in the illicit gray market. And
Unfortunately,
that's why we need to
you're right.
Transition, like some of these dispensaries are not gonna make like some of the artisanal.
They don't know. They don't know what we like.
Right.
The community understands what we like, and so that's why the community needs to be the people who are producing these
Yes,
products.
we have to push it because the people are in control at the end of the day. It's a buyer's market, and I think that I was so excited to have you guys here because of the work that's being done in Massachusetts and the organizations that exist that are legally helping to move forward. So with that being said, like, what advice do you have for people who are looking to lobby to advance cannabis laws in their state or in their neighborhood?
Talk to our lobbyists.
LOL. Please.
We trying to change these laws up in DC, man. What we
Well,
need to do?
first we
education,
should
I
say
feel like.
lobbying is just a fancy word for
right?
showing up.
It's not, you don't need no
That's what
special
lobbying is.
education or anything. You just
Yes.
have to be passionate, really care, and then make sure you get other people
Be
to do the
present.
same thing.
Yes, man. Shout
I
out.
would say, as far as like steps to take if you've never spoken to an elected official before, is to find out who your local elected officials are, because you being their constituent matters so much more than like paid lobbyists walking into their office trying to like sell them talking points that they know someone is paying that lobbyist to like do, right? So it matters a lot if you yourself pick up the phone, find out who your state legislators are or your ward council person,
or your cannabis control commissioners, whoever is in charge of your state's cannabis marijuana
Just
program.
give them a call.
Whoever
provide
yes,
actually in control.
it's important for us to talk to the decision makers
Somebody
because they're
is
the
in
ones that
control.
create the regulations. And in Massachusetts, we have 5 people that create these regulations. Guess how many of them voted for legalization out of the 5? 1.
Just one.
Shout out Shalene.
Just one.
Yeah, shout out to
Shalene. Shout out to
Shalene.
Shalene.
So familiar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out Shalene.
Because
Really?
Shalene, not only did she vote yes on 4, but she actually helped in
wrote the
creating.
law.
Yeah, she drafted the law, and she's been very vital in creating a social equity program in Massachusetts,
Absolutely.
which is necessary to repair the war on drugs and everything that's been done through the
The arrest.
the prohibition that has existed in the past. So if we don't have people like Shalene, we have to have people inside and outside.
Right.
Because we need people on the inside to, create these types of regulations that are friendly for consumers, push for social consumption. Being able to consume outside is not a possibility in Massachusetts or in DC. And you can only really consume in private. But if you live in public housing or if you rent, you may not even be able to consume it all. So
At all.
it may be legal, but legal for whom?
Right.
Just rich white people? That sucks, right? We
So
don't want
that's
that.
why people just need to understand where we are in regards to legalization.
I like how you
Let
just
people
talk
understand
about
how
that.
they
You're
can get
like,
involved. And and the way that you can do that is by showing up, because the rules for legalization are being made right now in legal states.
Yeah.
So-
and non-legal states, man, like it's coming. Like we're in DC for a reason right now. We know what type of time it is, and we just plotting with the homies. Like, it's coming, ladies and gentlemen. It's ready. It's not coming. It's here. And the rich white folk not playing games. The people with power who run the country are saying, well, how do we get it first and get our cut? Versus the people who've done all the grunt work for so long.
And have been targeted.
Established the market, figured out how
Right,
much
we
the
did all
weed should
this.
cost for how much.
We figured out all this
know what
innovation.
quantities even.
Exactly.
Nobody know about an eighth.
Yeah, no one was.
Who knows what an eighth of an ounce is? Niggas have been doing math off of 28 grand. What,
Exactly.
56, 112, huh? I'm sorry.
No, that's you're right.
Yeah, we already have
We
an
made it
established
cool.
market.
And I think an important part of advocating for equity too is being able to tie together like what it means for people of color to enter the market now in the context of the entire war on drugs and the history of the war on drugs, which was a racist policy from its inception, right? And
Yeah, right.
It's contributed to just mass incarceration.
right, exactly.
To where we are today as a society. So we need to reverse those effects by implementing policies that reflect our own interests, the
Right.
community's interests, and not just these big corporations.
Community involvement. If they're talking about cannabis
Or like
lounges,
reinvestment in the
you know,
communities that have been
exactly.
devastated by drug war policies,
Yeah.
like over criminalization,
Yeah,
over
man.
policing.
This is literally like reparations in
Yeah,
the form of a
literally.
plant that happens to be a woman.
And a few politicians will
Don't.
will say it. Like, who's the
Well,
lady?
she was running Cynthia, I think, in New York.
Cynthia
But like,
Nixon.
some
Right.
people got upset with that word, right? Reparations.
Yeah.
It's a
Right.
strong word, right?
Right.
But if
You know
you
what
look
she-
at
So look at
statistics,
history.
Look at history.
Racism
Yeah.
is strong.
Right.
Just
Just
because it upsets
statistics,
people.
If you look at
Yeah.
history, you'll see why
Yeah.
reparations
Makes sense.
I mean, the root of the word reparations is repair.
Yes.
Right? We're just trying to fix something that's been broken, that's been ignored for so long.
Yeah. One of the biggest conversations I think that is in our community when it comes to this concept, is what does justice look like? What exactly do we want? Like, even if this was reparations and this was to be the U.S. government, like, all right, fine, you're right, we were wrong. What do y'all want? There is no delegation that can speak for us to say we want this, and this. Like, we don't have any type of agreement in what we really want. We know that we want something. We know that we need something, but what
what
that
does it
something
look
looks
like?
like
Well,
is different.
We gotta start
So-
talking about it. Right?
Yeah.
And then we have to
As
figure
a
out
collective.
as a collective, and then
Like, what are our bottom lines?
right.
Right?
what
Like,
exactly-
what is it that we're not willing to give up or leave behind in to go along with like marijuana legalization itself? I want to say like there shouldn't be no one left in jail, like incarcerated. or
Agreed.
under state supervision
Right.
Yes.
for like any
Any cannabis related.
right.
And then records
No matter
that
how
follow
much
you.
weight
And then exactly.
After
and then
you're
after
arrested,
you get out,
you need
to
get
get
the record
expunged.
and
Right.
make sure you get that re-entry services you need. Like,
I mean, it's just hypocritical if you're gonna allow like certain people with political connections and financial resources
To
to
sell it.
in like
Legally.
in bulk in like
Yes.
whatever
Yes,
weight you want
by
to
the
say,
ton.
and then also still say, well, sorry, somebody else who had the entrepreneurial spirit
There you
Right.
go.
to do it
Right.
beforehand,
So
like on the wrong side of history,
Yep.
like, and they have to waste the rest of their life in jail. Sorry,
That's
like,
ridiculous. Well, it's
hypocritical.
legal for
Yeah.
you to do
Yeah.
it.
right, so Peter Tosh's relative Jawara Tosh was
Yeah,
in the
man.
past was harmed because he was incarcerated for cannabis in prison, and it's because he had pounds of cannabis on him. But if he had large amounts of capital, he understands how to go through the
navigate
regulation
political
process. Then he wouldn't have been targeted or hurt in prison. But just because these dispensaries have a whole bunch of money and they understand how to go through the legal process, they can benefit. So that's why we need to teach people how to transition and how to actually understand this process too, so that they can do this legally.
Yeah.
So like record cleaning, expungement, getting out of jail, and then not just employment, ownership. We can't just be offered employment. We have to make sure that people have ownership in this industry, because the way that I look at it is that it's one of the last waves of equity. So the last wave of equity before this was the tech boom.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
And people of color got left out of that.
Yeah.
This is one of the last waves of equity. I can't see anything bigger than this in my lifetime that's gonna give people equity.
Yeah.
And equity means
Let's legalize other drugs.
But the injustice of the current cannabis industry, like, and the path it's on, I think is even more than the tech industry, because
Definitely.
oh yes,
Right,
definitely.
because
This
it's
is
like-
completely like super on a
I think more people
personal
are
note.
involved.
If you look at the arrests, if you look at the
Exactly.
statistics,
Yeah.
Right?
Like,
It's
this is a personal
we missed
note.
the opportunity to create equity in the tech industry, but the tech industry at least started from like nothing,
Yeah.
not a history of
Racism,
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
incarceration.
We would
And-
hope that this could be something that even as nice as the alcohol industry, which pretty much had a stranglehold for like the first 100 years, maybe
Yeah.
90 years, until they allow for the laws that allow for craft breweries and things and such like that.
Exactly, yeah.
So, like, they won't even do that. They're trying to do the lotto move on us, which is where we created the whole numbers game. We created the whole thing.
it's already
And
here.
they came and took it and gave us the lotto, and ain't no place at all. Like, no, that's 100% run by the state. Period.
Right.
And it's still illegal to shoot dice. It's still, we ain't get no
Unless you have a
casinos. They ain't
license.
give no Negro, no
Yeah.
casinos, no dominoes, no Negro, no. But you can play craps all up and down in our casinos, though.
Yep.
That's
Come to Las
crazy.
Vegas.
And that's what they're trying to do. That's what is
Yeah,
happening right
exactly.
now with cannabis. Like, no,
Yeah.
you can't even get it.
Right.
Period.
Yeah, so
You're not
that's-
even giving us a chance to get our money up.
Yeah.
Because there are people of color with money.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's not even about
or-
corporate. There are people who are great at business and
But
have
yeah,
multiple
and they're
businesses.
still
We're not looking for a handout.
Yeah, we're ready to work.
Right.
There's like,
I mean, so the other piece of it should be that, like, everybody who is currently growing or selling marijuana in the informal economy, right? Right, should be able to formalize
Yeah.
their business,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
and participate in the legal economy.
Right.
so we out here in the belly of the beast in Babylon, you know. Seriously, how do you transfer your black market money into a legitimate business when you do not have a banking
Cash flow.
history?
You start
Is this
attending
the-
the meetings. You have to start attending the government meetings, unfortunately. They're
it's
really
like
boring.
a catch-22.
But this is what we have to do. They have to start seeing our face so that
The
they
presence.
understand who they're accountable to. Because
Mhm.
all of these people work through tax money, through
Mhm.
money that we as constituents pay. And sometimes they forget about it because
Mhm.
we're not in their face like the lobbyists from dispensaries are. But it's important for us to remind them like who they're actually creating these laws for.
Right.
Mhm.
And it's not just for corporations, it's for the community, it's for the people.
I mean, especially when the message you're bringing them is we're trying to pay our taxes,
Mhm.
right? This is something that our friend Tori has said repeatedly.
We just want to pay taxes.
We just want to pay our taxes.
Y'all
right?
selling weed? Come
Yeah.
on. Y'all pay taxes?
Right.
I get it.
Just want to help the state. Be a better state.
Um,
You're making it hard for us.
Man, I think that that's important, you know, giving an ability for all these different people who are trained and been living in this life, man. We ain't new to this, be true to this. Making a way, man. But you're right, it starts with the presence.
Yep.
And,
Yeah.
you know, I work in the legal side of the industry, and people, you know, have this huge narrative of it being very difficult to work in it. Now, starting it and getting your licensure to me is completely different from actually working in there as an employee.
Yeah, definitely.
The places where they're looking to hire people, these different professional conventions and such that we go to, we're not there.
Nope.
And like, it's so tragic how much we're not there.
It hurts.
It blew my mind when I
Yeah.
went to the MJ BizCon.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
I've never been.
I already know.
Yeah.
I'm not with that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean,
But we've heard tell
Yeah, we
tales.
heard stories. So
Yeah.
that's all. Yeah.
That's the industry.
25,000
The
people
industry
in the
is being-
international
Yeah,
cannabis
it's being
industry,
dominated,
and
right.
I don't think 100 of them were people of color.
Yeah.
The Cannabis Control Commission Massachusetts, they come out with a report like
Mhm.
every other 2 weeks, and right now there's disparities in race right now. There's a
who's
77% of employees in Massachusetts recreational like dispensaries would be belong to white people as opposed to people of color, very low percentages. So
Yeah.
we need more representation, and that happens by understanding that this is happening. Like,
But also by showing up.
Yeah.
The most important
Showing
thing is showing
up.
up.
That was it.
Because you
Like,
can understand that something is happening, but unless you show up and you lobby the people that are making the decisions, nothing's gonna happen.
Right.
And Massachusetts got a little bit lucky. We were able to create a social equity program and then also economic empowerment applicants. But first of all, the program is just failing, like completely failing. Like out of all of the applications, there's only 3 economic empowerment. Well, 4 now. But they're only being reviewed. They haven't actually gone through the process.
There's been no licenses to economic empowerment.
Yes,
Wow.
No
exactly.
licenses to economic
An economic empowerment
No
applicant
licenses
had
to
a
black and brown people.
Yes.
I really want to keep it up.
yes
No black and brown licenses.
In the recreational?
In the
in the
all?
recreational
Oh
at all.
my God.
Yeah.
I have not heard about that.
Zero.
I kind of want to start pushing.
And
that
now
back.
they're actually allowing general applicants that have no priority to go through the process. But an economic empowerment applicant is somebody that had to fit 3 out of 6 requirements. And what were the 3 out of 6 requirements? It was like you had to live in an area of disproportionate impact.
which means an area that has high drug arrest
And it
rates.
was intended to be
Black and brown neighborhood communities.
across the state.
You had to be black or Latino, which at
Yeah.
first they didn't
They-
want to do
and we
because they
fought
were
hard.
like, we don't want to get
No,
sued.
no race.
Yes, we want
Oh,
it to
really?
be
No
race
race?
neutral, but we were like, look at the statistics.
We have
Are
to
they
laugh
race
at that.
neutral?
Right.
And
Data
so
isn't
they
race
changed
neutral.
it. So they changed it. And then
And
the
then,
other thing,
if you promise to hire 51% of your employees from areas of disproportionate impact, so like areas that have high drug
This
arrest
was in
rates.
y'all bill?
Yeah,
yes,
in the
and it
regs.
was
Regulations.
shout out to
The
Shalene.
regulations.
Shout out to
Shalene,
Shalene
and
Title.
we know we
You
push.
need people like that on the commission on the state side.
Representing.
Yes.
Man, so that's what it
I mean,
we got something.
she shepherded this the whole way through. Like, there were a lot of people involved in crafting the
Exactly.
language
Yes.
and stuff, but Shalene made sure that there was equity language in the bill before the bill was even, like, passed.
Yeah.
This was
But
like
in
the
the
yes
state.
on 4
And then
question.
she made sure, as an advocate, right, that there would be a seat on the commission that was
for a social
dedicated
justice.
to implementing the equity language. And then when that seat was created, she made sure she applied for it. And there was no one better qualified in the
Right.
state to fulfill that role than her.
And I don't know who
And
appointed
so-
her. Well,
Right.
we do know who appointed her, but it was a miracle that she got it.
Right. Because
Because-
knowing that she was like an advocate,
Yes.
you know,
Right.
already.
And that's we
Yeah.
need those people
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the state level, because if we don't have those people, we have nobody to push for. And actually, a mistake that we made as local lobbyists is that we tried going to her with certain things that have already passed instead of going through the 4 other
Go the
people
opposition.
that aren't convinced at all.
Yeah.
So Shalene is already convinced. Don't try to convince somebody that's already convinced. Convince the people that are fearful, that don't believe in all of the types of things that you're trying to
We
push.
can get some wins with some of the nodes, so
Yes.
we get some wins. Like they're now talking about, so they were talking about social consumption lounges licensing, and apparently, Shalene was able to convince them to prioritize that for economic empowerment, micro
Yes.
businesses, co-ops, some of the small little guys. And then with delivery, Commissioner McBride, one of the no on 4 votes, said she's open to allowing delivery to be prioritized to micro businesses, which is like you can cultivate and manufacture under one license up to 5,000 square feet.
What?
And you pay half the fee of both.
And actually, all of
Yeah,
the
we fought for
licenses in
that too,
Massachusetts
yeah.
for
Yes,
recreational
yes,
are
yes.
less than
You gotta be a resident
$5,000.
of Massachusetts to get
For
one of these
the
licenses.
micro business, yes, but for other licenses, no.
Yes.
Okay.
And this is completely different from the medical, which you had to have at least $500,000 of liquid cash
Yes.
just to apply.
That sounds
and
about
be vertically
right.
integrated.
Yeah.
That's why recreational, honestly,
It opens up the market, creates more
man.
lower
It's
entries
special
to
allows the
Artisanal.
illicit market to
Yeah,
transition.
artisanal,
Right.
let's go. Where's
Yeah.
my
Yes.
craft? I want my craft weed.
Craft
stuff.
beer,
Yeah.
craft weed,
Craft everything.
terps.
Yes. That's how you build the turf up and get some of these beautiful, outrageous buds. So, man, everything that you're saying is just so necessary for DC. Voting season is upon us.
Yes.
I'm excited because
Voting
this is the
season.
first time in my recent memory that a non-presidential election was getting this type of attention.
Yes.
So you named a lot of different people. What are some of the local? This is the local time. This is it right here. So you
Right.
mentioned council people. Know who your ward council person is.
Yeah.
What are some other important local?
District attorney.
Your
Attorney.
So
DA.
district
Hey.
attorneys are the
DA.
ones who
DA.
We need to get a DA
determine.
that's with the.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are-
They determine who goes to jail.
Yep.
Right.
They determine what gets
Who gets
prosecuted.
expunged?
Right.
Who gets expunged?
Yeah.
So we had a really great event
it's
a few
crazy.
weeks ago where we had the
National
two
Expungement
Week.
district
Yes.
attorney
National
candidates
Expungement Week.
debate each other. And one of the points that we really were trying to push on where one of them is trying to prosecute low crimes.
petty crimes, small crimes like trespassing, like shoplifting,
Yeah,
like
nothing worse than-
resisting arrest. And then the other district attorney said we should not be prosecuting those crimes because we're wasting too much tax money on trying to.
And instead we can
Create
show
big
accountability in other
Right.
ways. And we can have other programs that help people understand how to be better citizens, better community members.
Mm-hmm.
So it's asking questions like that that helps you see like who's the better candidate, who we should be voting for. And yeah, this is super, super important. This determines our fate.
Yeah, I know.
Carl Racine.
Oh,
guy.
okay. Good.
That's your dude.
Being politically correct, Carl Racine is currently our DA. And I'm glad that we got an endorsement from the lovely production team on
production
set. Because he has run unopposed for the past several times. So it's good that he's a good guy.
Why is he a good guy?
Because if he wasn't,
Yeah, what?
we'd
It's
be
good,
stuck
'cause-
with him.
well, in Boston,
Kind of like
yeah.
the mayor. Mass incarceration. Yeah, I mean, for him to be the DA, I will say, comparatively speaking, and I don't know, I feel like my view may be skewed because we got Virginia, Mo County, Charles County, basically. If you just try, like, it gets really, really racist as soon as you leave DC. Like, they just kind of let up on us in PG County because it's like Ward 9 now, so they alright, but outside of that,
Yeah, they're not playing. Rochelle was telling us that when Maryland gets a little crazy.
Yeah.
so yeah, DC is cool. A lot of people getting written off. Like, I don't think that looking at the pop-up market and all these people getting locked up and coming back. I can't even talk about that because
we won't even talk about it.
there's a lot of reasons why people make it home and they should have been arrested. We're gonna change the subject though, completely
Word.
and go
Got
back
Read it. Heard
to
you.
voting. We
Yeah.
said council
Yes,
members,
voting.
your DAs.
I'm trying to think.
Your civic association. You
Yeah,
should join
well,
your
that's
civic
not-
Oh
association.
right, your
But see-
ANCs, man.
Oh,
Shout out
yeah,
to my girl
ANCs.
Sharice Crawford. She's Ward 8, ANC 5A. I don't want to. That's probably not a 5. It's 8 something. See, that's what I'm talking. DC is strange, a little bit, but different cities are different. Like
Yes,
it's
every
amazing
city's
how
different.
right. Like you
Some are
may
small.
even live within DC. In a certain condo, you may have a homeowners association that's actually speaking for you, or your place may be a co-op.
It's the same
Yeah.
people
You know?
that are showing up.
Yeah,
So that's why we need to take control of our neighborhoods back.
we
You brought
do.
up co-ops, and honestly, like, I'm gonna go on my rant right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Black and brown folk really trying to get serious. That's our only way, in my
Yep.
opinion, is collectively.
Collective
Yeah.
Not
ownership.
get in
Yes.
one by one as capitalists. I
Yes.
just don't see they have too much more power and money. But we have money in our community. We
Mhm.
just need to spend it on us.
Mhm.
And not even spend it, I guess invest in ourselves
Yeah.
collectively. You know, we were talking about like it takes a village to take care of ourselves.
Mhm.
So yeah, like there's definitely like we're staying in Mount Rainier and there's like a grocery co-op and I'm like that's dope. It's been
Blood.
here.
Blood,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was putting me
Yeah.
on. I was like, that's awesome. It's a good to like they're doing something like that. So I think that's
Yeah.
we just need to work together.
And when I say employees, owners, not just employees, the way that I see that happening is
Is
through
through
co-ops.
co-ops and
Because, people can't be putting their houses, they're getting their house mortgaged just to get into the
Twice.
The
industry.
cannabis industry.
Like that's ridiculous.
Mhm.
You know, like we need to have collective ownership. And a really good example of this type of model is the People's Dispensary.
Oh,
So the
and
People's
Oakland.
Dispensary is in Oakland,
Shout out Cheney.
and they're a collectively owned medical
They
dispensary.
crowdfunded
You mean to
it.
tell me that like Anacostia's dispensary could actually be residents of
Yeah.
Anacostia?
Yeah, just like your
Yeah.
consumer food co-op, you can have a weed
You
It
just gotta
exists.
fight
weed
for it.
retail
Get
co-op.
the funds, fight for
It
the funds,
exists.
and fight
It
for the
really
regs
does
for it.
exist.
I got like tears in the back of my
Yes.
eyes at these
And
things
if-
that are
If
existing
If
in
people
real
are looking
life
for a
right
really
now.
great
What?
place to start and understand what co-ops are and what collective ownership
Wow.
is, a really great book is Collective Courage. Who's the author? Jessica.
Dr. Jessica Gordon Nemra, I think is her full name.
Okay.
And yeah, like it's about like African American co-ops that's been going on since slavery. That's how we saved
Yes.
ourselves.
That's
from
how
slavery.
people got
The
free. They
Underground
help
Railroad.
each other, buy each
Underground.
other
Yeah, they would
out.
buy each other out of slavery.
Yo.
So, yeah, man, it's been going on since forever. And then Susu, you know, for our Caribbean
Right.
folks, Susu. And I think, you know, and other
It's in a
cultures
whole
have
bunch of different cultures.
Sonia said
Dandas.
the Mexican culture and like,
Yeah,
you know,
people just
have
put
it.
in money, a certain amount of money each month, and then each person gets to use it on their day. As long as you're contributing to the
This is how
pool,
oppressed
you
people
get to
have
use the
survived.
money when it comes to you.
Yeah.
So it's existed in our
Yeah.
cultures for ages. We just don't get taught
So,
about
no,
that in our
they don't teach that
economics
in
101
our
course.
school.
No, when they do, they call it a pyramid scheme, where they,
You're
right.
where they say that
clown
you know
it.
it's
They're
not
like,
gonna
it
work.
doesn't
and-
work. And you're like,
I mean, shoot, they have whole laws now against it. You can't do that.
so that's what the law.
But you know, taxes in America and
So get you an accountant, get you
Yep.
an awesome lawyer, get you
Because
an
taxes can be
awesome
great.
lobbyist.
That's why you become a nonprofit.
yeah.
Or a B Corp or a benefit corp.
Oh,
there's,
right.
There's other forms
Look,
of
people-
You're so right. You
Yes.
better hide that money.
Yes.
I mean, you better.
Yeah.
No, not hiding.
Those
Exactly.
funds.
Yes.
Those
Know how to use the money. Because, people are afraid of
You can't say
nonprofits.
it.
They're like, oh,
No.
nonprofits, you don't make money.
And then we're
But
like,
that's
that's
not
not
true.
true. No.
Nonprofit, for-profit.
Harvard,
Harvard
right?
is a
No.
nonprofit and it
Yes.
has one of the largest
Yes.
endowments.
The NFL.
Nonprofit
The NFL.
just
Yeah.
means that you have to account for all the things that you spend. People always get caught up trying to steal from a nonprofit that they created because they don't take the time to just admit that you pay yourself.
Yeah, it's okay.
You work in an office. If you want to say that you pay yourself $50 fucking $100, $5, just write that
the
out
check.
and say
Right.
that. Now there are limits. You cannot spend more than
I think it's like 200,000.
30. No, like, it's a percentage of
of how much you raise.
your operating right. You can't get paid more than something like 35%.
Oh.
That's
of
why
that.
you get yourself an accountant
Yeah,
and you
man,
let
they'll
them
take-
handle the
yeah.
numbers.
Shout out to the community.
You could work
accountants.
multiple
Yes.
jobs and
Shout out
finesse
to
that.
Jared,
Like, I
JT.
mean, I'm not telling you.
And
that.
for us-
Community CPA.
And for us,
so
like
sorry.
it's like a little bit goes a long way. So our
Yeah.
members are a majority made up of just $5, $10 supporters per
Crowdfund,
month. Per
Patreon.
month.
Yeah.
And the
If
way
you
that
can
know-
buy a nickel or a dime, if you got 7 on a bag,
You could be involved in it.
You
That's a
know,
cup
we
of
get
coffee.
involved.
if you got your own $40 or you and your
And we
man,
provide services. It's not just donations.
Got
You
it
know,
together.
we
You're
educate
getting
people.
something in
And
return.
the higher you go, the more consulting we've done for businesses. So
We
it's
have
community
we have
service.
mixers, like networking that local
Network
cannabis
mixers,
entrepreneurs can learn about how to get a cannabis business like
Yeah.
every
Talk about
monthly.
social media.
So
Like, where do we?
you can
Oh.
find out about becoming a member of patreon.com/MRCC_access.
MA
Spell
Consumers,
Patreon.
though.
Hold up. Wait. It's
Hold
past
on.
the J.
Just go to MA Consumers.
Yeah.
Go to
At
Facebook,
MA
go
Consumers.
to Instagram.
MA
All that
Consumers,
info is
MA
free
Consumers,
on
MA
Facebook
Consumers,
and
MA Consumers,
Instagram.
MA Consumers.
Yes.
MA
And actually, wait, the next event that we're having, the next big event is the 5K.
The 5K.
Oh, wait.
That's the next
Right?
event.
Is
Okay.
it-
Well,
is that the big one?
That's the
Yeah,
next
yeah,
big
yeah.
one?
That's in June.
In June, yes.
Coming up to Boston.
Yes.
Yeah, Boston. Come to Boston.
I
So,
heard I need to.
yeah, we
I've
do.
been told that I need to
Yes.
be up there. Shout out to my
Yes.
guys, Sister Precious Show.
If you know any cannabis runners, we do the annual Cannabis Freedom Run every year, which is basically a run for cannabis enthusiasts. So,
Well, hold up.
Uh,
It used to be a beer run.
Right,
Let's
it's-
start
it's
with
still a
this.
beer
Actually,
run.
it's
It's a
still a
beer
beer
Which is the
run.
only cannabis team.
We're the
Big.
only cannabis
We're the
team
biggest.
in this beer
We were
run.
the second biggest team last
so it's a
year,
beer run supported by local cannabis beer companies in the city of Cambridge,
And
Y'all
their
have
Massachusetts.
slogan
cannabis
is.
No,
No,
local
no, no,
beer.
no.
You messed that up.
Their slogan is we run.
Basically, they're trying to take it over.
Yeah.
Okay, take
It's a
over.
beer
Yeah.
run.
You don't
No.
know.
We run for
No.
freedom and local beer is their
Yes.
slogan. So our slogan is we run for freedom and local weed.
Yes.
So local cannabis
it on.
companies who want to be represented as responsible cannabis companies who want to educate the public are affiliated and they sponsor our run. And we got 70 cannabis consumers. We're the second biggest team.
Yeah.
Wow.
And next year we're trying to go for the biggest team.
They might kick us off, but
We wear weed
we'll
socks.
let that happen.
Yeah.
Well, they actually already did try to kick us off
And we-
initially
and you
because they
ready?
were like, marijuana, we want nothing to do with this. But
It
then,
kills me when
you
drinkers
know,
say that.
exactly.
Like, shut your
Well, we
ass
help
up.
them see. We help them see that, in the same way that not everybody likes to drink Miller Lite and enjoys, craft beer, not everybody wants to smoke Walmart weed. We craft beer, craft weed.
Craft,
Terps.
baby.
Terps.
They were just
Yeah,
starting the
yeah.
education. of
Yeah.
why
Full
it's craft.
circle.
Full circle. So with that, it has been another episode of Past the J, where we educate while we medicate and we elevate to a whole new level, getting metaphysical, opening up minds. Once again, we've been blessed with my good friend Rochelle with the legal knowledge over here. We have Kimani in the MA,
MRCC. But MA Consumers too. MRCC.
I'm Joey.
Joey and Sonia. MRCC.
Yeah.
Can y'all do your social drops handles one more time?
Yeah,
One more
so
time.
you
I'm
can
gonna get it
follow-
written down.
Follow MA Consumers for MRCC. You can follow me on For Real Go on Instagram, like For Real Pets.
I'm Joey Got a Gram.
Joey got a gram. BK Hippie, HIPPY.
Yo, you just skipped
I'm
Rochelle.
sorry. I'm so
Yo, it's all good.
I'm so
You should finish your thing. You should
so
finish your thing.
That's the rudest thing I've ever done. Sorry. But I should finish. BK
And I'm V Young. That's VEYEUNG on Instagram.
Yes.
And once again, I'm the real J Mills. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you log on to pastthej.com.
I'm so sorry.
Yay.
I was like,
I was like,
I don't